Hey guys, this is Heather from healthyeatingstartshere.com. So today I wanted to talk about some sources of calcium other than milk, because that's important for those of you who want to eat a plant-based diet or are allergic to milk. When I was born, my mom found out that her, my brother, and I were all allergic to milk. And she had lived most of her life not knowing. My brother lived 4 years without knowing that he was allergic to milk, and when I came along, I clued them in. So after that, my mom's mission became to get us enough calcium because, of course, when you say that you can't have milk, everyone says, where do you get your calcium? Now, the good news is that there are a ton of plant sources of calcium, the main one being dark leafy green vegetables. So things like kale, chard, collards, those kinds of things, and broccoli are amazing sources of calcium. Also, beans and legumes, especially chickpeas and for some reason navy beans, have quite a bit of calcium. Nuts and seeds are another good source, especially sesame seeds and almonds. And tahini is sesame seed butter, so that's another good source. Almond butter as well. And molasses has quite a bit of calcium in it as well. So what I've done for you guys, because I know it's easy to think about that list of foods and then say, well, what am I going to do with them? How am I going to eat them? So I put together a list of some of my favorite recipes using each of those foods, and I've put links all through the article. If you head over to healthyeatingstartshere.com, you can find those there. Now, the great thing about plant sources of calcium is that they come along with magnesium, which helps calcium get used in your body, and the dark green leafy vegetables are also a really good source of vitamin K, which is another vitamin that your body needs in order to use calcium for proper bone health. Now, the other nutrient that's really important to get with your calcium is vitamin D, and now the plant sources don't have vitamin D, but an interesting thing to note is that although people often talk about dairy milk being a good source of vitamin D, the vitamin D is only in there because it's fortified. They add it as a supplement to the milk. So if you are having any kind of non-dairy milk, almond, rice, hemp, any of those types of milks that have vitamin D added to them, exactly the same as having your vitamin D through dairy milk. And the other thing you can do is just take supplements. So that's what I do for vitamin D, is I make sure I have supplements. Now, your body does produce vitamin D when you get out in the sunshine and your skin is exposed to sun. But in the winter, that can be hard to do. And for someone like me, I burn really easily. So I don't tend to sit outside in the sun for too long. If you need to take an additional supplement for any of these nutrients, calcium in particular, what I do is I have enough calcium in my multivitamin to make up for the anything that I might not be getting through my diet. So I eat a ton of dark green leafy vegetables, I eat a lot of beans and legumes, I eat a lot of nuts and seeds, so I do get a lot of calcium from my diet, and then whatever the little gap is, I make up for with my multivitamin. The recommended daily intake from the government is about 1,000 milligrams per day for adults, for most adults. And usually if you take a multivitamin plus get foods in your diet that have lots of calcium, you're okay. If you want to take an additional calcium supplement, just try to find one that has all of those nutrients for utilization together. If you take just a calcium supplement, your body's probably not going to use it. So get one that has calcium, magnesium, and ideally a bit of vitamin D and vitamin K. The other thing to look for is if you get the hard tablets for calcium, your body probably isn't going to break it down and use it. So better form would be a capsule, and if you're vegan, look for a cellulose capsule instead of gelatin. Or you can get a liquid supplement or a powder that you dissolve in water or juice. So those are my thoughts on some sources of calcium other than milk. I hope you get making some of those recipes and enjoying some of those calcium-rich foods, because it is an important nutrient to get whether or not you drink milk. And that's it for me today. I'll see you guys next time.